we might as well just go into the big movie of the weekend, which is Trolls 2, which is the sequel to the 2016 movie of the same name. Oh, sorry, well, not the same name. Sorry, it's Trolls, but this one's Trolls World Tour. In this movie, the trolls discover that there are other kinds of trolls that exist in their world. They all live in 6 different lands, each of them dedicated to a certain kind of music. Obviously, the trolls that we know are dedicated to pop, whereas the other ones are dedicated to country, funk, techno, classical, and rock. But when the rock trolls tried to take over each of the other lands to convert their music into, or everybody else's music into rock, it's up to Poppy, Branch, and the rest of the trolls to band together to save their homes. Now, we talked about this before, that I saw the first Trolls movie. You've never seen it, right?
No, I haven't.
I saw it because Simone, my fiance, dragged me to it. She really wanted to check it out, and I was like, okay, because she is the kind of person where she has this kiddish nature to her. I think we all do, but like she in particular, she's like, if it's colorful and it's pretty, it's got music, I want to watch it. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take you to it because I don't pay for movies. But
you guys go by carnivals when you drive by them?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Who wouldn't? Please.
I
have a soul, Luke. I may be old, I may be bald, but God damn it, I have a soul. So anyway, we saw Trolls 1, and to my chagrin, I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought it was going to be. It's nowhere near that great of a movie, but it does have things that I really liked. It has really good animation. Each character design is actually really well done and different, so that way you can know the difference between each character. The voice work is actually pretty good. I think Anna Kendrick does a really good job. I think Justin Timberlake does a really good job. This is me talking about the first movie, by the way. And then it turned out to actually be funnier. There were actually some pretty good jokes in it that would connect more to adults and things like that than you would think. So while I didn't need this movie, the second movie. I wasn't hating the idea of it, and I volunteered to watch it because I was like, I at least know this movie. I remember this week was actually supposed to be a really good week in movies, and then that got thrown out. So I guess I at least still got this.
Do you remember what was supposed to come out this week?
I think it was supposed to be Antlers and Promising Young Woman.
Oh,
and it was supposed to be a really busy week for us. And I was like, I'll get the Trolls at some point during the week. But I was like, I'm going for Antlers. And then, that went out the window. But that being said, Trolls 2, I think, is a much more well-done movie. I think this movie actually succeeds a lot better than the first one did. It does everything that the first one did well, better. The animation is great. The visuals are very trippy. This is the most, like, drug-induced DreamWorks movie I've seen in a while. It's almost like taking shrooms at times. It's kind of insane. And I dig it. Like there's one.
Not that Eric would know anything about that.
No, I would never. But like there's one point in the movie where there's this like Kenny G type of troll who he's a bounty hunter, but he uses smooth jazz to like pretty much drug his victims and put them in like some sort of trip, and it's great. Because it leads to all these like really cool visuals and like things that you wouldn't imagine to be in this movie. It almost feels a bit like an Adult Swim cartoon, or even like the new cartoon by the guy who created Adventure Time coming out, and it reminded me of like the visuals that I saw in just the trailer of that thing. So with that, it's actually pretty good. But also there are little details throughout the movie that are really well done, like when they go to Countryland, which because I don't remember the name of it, so I'm just gonna call it Countryland. There's a moment where they get locked up in jail, and they're like it's the West, so there's like hay and stuff, kind of just sitting about the land, and the hay is just string, just like little bits of string that are like, I guess, peeled out. And when they start trying to dig their way out of the jail, it's cotton. Like they dig it to the ground, it looks like concrete, and then they dig it up and it's like cotton underneath, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. And also there's like this felt texture over almost not everything, but like little things. It looks like felt. So I if anything, I gotta give my props to the animation crew, because they worked their butts off for this thing. The original voice actors are really good, but what impressed me the most were some of the cameos. They have singers like Ozzy Osbourne, Kelly Clarkson, and Anthony Ramos from Hamilton, and he's gonna be in The Heights. He's in it for a split second. They're all small roles, but they do really well in them. But in particular, I really want to highlight the people who are the voice actors who were in Funkland, who were Anderson .Paak, who I love. I saw him live last year, and he's amazing. But also George Clinton, who's like kind of the godfather of funk, and Mary J. Blige, who, you know, they each play the prince, the king, and the queen of the land, and they're all great. They actually, of all the kings and queens, or I guess the royalty of these music, or these music lands, they're giving the meatiest dialogue and some of the best songs. I'll get to the songs in a second. But to me, where the movie really shines is the story. It has a much better story with a generic sort of overlay over it. You think it's gonna be one thing of it's just, oh, rock is bad and they're out of control. And I remember saying this as a complaint when we saw the trailer, where I was like, this is gonna piss me off, because it's just saying rock is bad and it's always the villain and yada yada yada. And I was like, well, that's not cool. I'm a big rock fan, and I think it's gonna turn a lot of kids off from rock. Like, I grew up listening to rock, and it made me the person that I am today. The asshole that I am. But they managed to change the overall narrative of the story by taking shots at not just rock but other music genres, and mainly, if anything, the music industry in general. There is a particular point in the movie, I'd say it's about maybe the halfway point, where they straight up say, we're looking at this person as the bad guy, but it's only because this thing happened that caused them to be bad. And it's a direct shot of how the music industry works and how they view certain genres of music. And I said, oh my god, that's brilliant. Like, I'm a big music lover, so just seeing how genres can take over, like, the radios and make it seem like there's only one good style of music, it really pisses me off. So to see a movie kind of tell kids, like, hey, this might be the most popular thing going on right now, but it's not necessarily the best and shouldn't be the only thing you listen to. You should listen to everything else as well. You should have a grand scope of music. It's actually pretty cool and a pretty good lesson to teach kids. But yeah, the movie, like I said, at a halfway point, also answered a lot of questions that I had while watching the movie, and it's not really like, it sounds like it would be done in like an exposition-y way where they just spit out the dialogue, but it's done musically. And luckily enough, they had Anderson .Paak do it, and he's a great rapper and artist. So the way they do it is actually really clever. And one, it's a good song, but also just made like me and my fiance's jaws drop for just how well done lyrically it is. But yeah, I found the movie to be shockingly entertaining. I also really enjoyed the music overall. But I realized, I enjoyed the music overall, but I think that the covers are probably the weakest part of it. I'm not really a fan of musicals that are just covers, like stuff like Moulin Rouge, you know what I mean? So whenever they had original songs, like I said, like the one that Anderson .Paak does in the middle of the movie, I was like, oh, that's actually really good. And I realized that I liked a lot of the music because the producer, Justin Timberlake produces the soundtrack overall, but it's also co-produced by Ludwig and Gordon Ranson, who, if you recognize that name, is the composer of oh my god, Ryan Coogler's movies. So he did Black Panther and Creed and all that. But he also produces Childish Gambino's albums, and he's great. He's like one of my favorite producers working today. But in terms of the voice work, if there's anybody I do want to kind of complain about, it's probably Rachel Bloom. I love her. She's great on the show, My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. But she's doing like a rocker girl voice where it's like, I'm Queen Barb, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, it just comes across as a bit cheesy to me. I feel like if she just did like her normal voice and maybe had like a rocker edge to it, or even like I said, just doing her normal voice, it would have been better for me. It wouldn't have felt like she was doing a voice. You know what I mean? But yeah, people are absolutely gonna crap on this movie because they can. Because like for all the movies to be sent straight to VOD that were supposed to come out in theaters, it's like, why choose Trolls? But I think this isn't the worst movie to watch this weekend. If you want to watch something new, have something new in your eyes, this movie's actually pretty well done, pretty entertaining, solid music. Kids are gonna love it, obviously, because it's got a lot of colors, but I think adults will find something in it. I think anybody who's a music fan will really enjoy it. Simone in particular loved it. There are a lot of like great undertones in this movie that I think are very clever. So to make a dumb joke, don't troll Trolls. Just go in with an open mind, enjoy it, and I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
Oh my god. Don't troll trolls.
Don't troll trolls, dude. It's a pretty good movie. Trolls World Tour is actually alright.